Imagine a domestic company wants to protect its trademark across 30 different countries. The standard route requires 30 separate applications, 30 local agents to manage them, and 30 distinct fee structures. The alternative is filing a single application in English, paying one unified fee, and securing protection in all 30 jurisdictions. That streamlined alternative exists in India because of a single date, July 8, 2013. On that day, India joined the Madrid Protocol. For the trademarks agent exam, this is the single most tested date in international trademark law. To understand how the international filing system operates, you have to look at the three-layered architectural stack. The foundation is the Paris Convention of 1883. It established two core rules: national treatment, meaning foreigners get the same protection as local citizens, and the right of priority. The middle layer is the TRIPS Agreement of 1994. Administered by the WTO, it incorporates those Paris Convention rules and mandates minimum standards for intellectual property protection across all member nations. This comparison chart shows the WTO minimums alongside Indian law. TRIPS requires a minimum registration term of 7 years. India gives 10. TRIPS allows non-use cancellation after 3 years. India gives 5. In both cases, Indian law intentionally exceeds those minimums. The top layer is the Madrid system. It consists of 2 treaties, but India only acceded to the 1989 protocol, becoming its 90th member. It dictates the operational rules. Applications are processed in English, French, or Spanish, and all international fees must be paid in Swiss francs. A single international application relies on all 3 of these layers simultaneously. It uses the Paris Convention to backdate its priority, relies on TRIPS for baseline legal rights in foreign courts, and uses the Madrid Protocol for the actual filing machinery. The Paris Convention's priority right is codified in India under Section 154. This section dictates exactly how foreign applications are treated when they cross our borders. If a person files a trademark application in a designated convention country, they have a strict 6-month window to file the identical application here in India. If they meet that deadline, the Indian registration legally dates back to the original foreign filing date. This creates a retroactive shield, defeating any intervening local applicants who tried to register the mark during those 6 months. The constraints are rigid. The mark and the goods must be identical. If the applicant filed in multiple convention countries, the 6-month clock starts ticking from the very first application. Missing that deadline by even 1 day completely voids the priority claim. Section 154 provides a defensive buffer, giving international brands a 6-month grace period to lock down rights globally before competitors can squat on their property. To integrate the Madrid Protocol into domestic law, the 2010 Amendment Act inserted Chapter 4A. This chapter contains sections 36A through 36G. You can map these sections using a sequential A to G logic: A for applicability of the Act, B for the base definitions, C for the competent registry, D for departure out of India, E for entry into India, F for the force of the registration, and G for go on, meaning duration and renewal. Sections 36B and 36C establish the players. They designate the Indian Trademarks Registry to wear 2 hats. It acts as the Office of Origin for Indian applications heading outbound, and as the designated office for foreign applications coming inbound. Section 36D governs the outbound departure route. An Indian applicant cannot just file a new mark internationally. They must base their international application on an existing, identical Indian basic mark. The goods and services can be narrower than the home application, but they cannot exceed its scope. Filing outbound triggers a dual fee structure. WIPO requires international fees paid in Swiss francs, while the Indian registry requires a non-refundable handling fee of 5,000 rupees, submitted via Form MM2. Section 36E covers inbound entry. When WIPO notifies India that a foreign applicant has designated it, the Indian examiner evaluates it like a standard national application. If they find grounds for refusal, they have exactly 18 months to issue a provisional refusal back to WIPO. If they stay silent past 18 months, the mark is legally deemed protected in India. Sections 36F and 36G confirm the final details. An accepted international registration holds the exact same legal force as a standard national registration, and it remains valid for 10 years. Chapter 4A standardizes exactly how marks enter and exit the country, transforming the Indian registry into a two-way international gateway. The efficiency of the Madrid system comes with a significant structural vulnerability, the 5-year dependency rule. For the first 5 years, every international designation is strictly tethered to the base home mark. If a competitor files an opposition in India and successfully cancels or refuses that base mark, it triggers a central attack. The entire international portfolio in every designated country collapses simultaneously. The statute provides a narrow escape hatch called transformation. The applicant has 3 months from the date of cancellation to convert their dead international registrations into standard national applications. If they act within those 3 months, they retain their original international filing dates. Once the initial 5-year window expires, the international registrations sever their ties to the home mark. They become completely independent and immune to central attack. A global Madrid strategy relies on the absolute bedrock strength of the home application. If the basic mark is weak, the entire international portfolio is a house of cards for those first 5 years. Knowing the law is one thing, knowing when to use it is another. For exam strategy questions, you have to know when to recommend the Madrid Protocol over direct national filing. This comparative matrix outlines the distinct advantages of each route. Direct national filing requires separate applications, multiple local agents, and higher upfront costs, but it completely avoids the 5-year dependency risk. The strategy is straightforward. You use Madrid for cost-efficient scaling across multiple countries when the client has an unshakable home mark. You use national filings as a hedge when entering highly specific markets, or if the Indian base mark is vulnerable to a central attack. The Madrid Protocol does not replace national filing. It is a specific tool that must be deployed carefully based on the legal strength of the client's underlying trademark. Trademark law is generally territorial, but there is one massive exception. A mark can secure legal protection in India even if they have never sold a single product here and never registered the mark locally. This exception is born from 2 specific international obligations, Article 6 bis of the Paris Convention and Article 16 of TRIPS, which mandate the protection of well-known marks. India implements this through Section 11, subsections 6 to 9. The law dictates that actual use of the mark in India is not required. Mere knowledge of the mark by the relevant segment of the Indian public, gained through international media or the Internet, establishes trans-border reputation. Furthermore, both TRIPS and Section 29, subsection 4 of the Indian TM Act extend this protection to dissimilar goods, blocking local companies from free riding on an international brand's global equity. For truly famous brands, international reputation acts as an invisible, borderless shield. Now, let's lock in the critical facts. Question 1. What date did India join the Madrid Protocol? 8th July 2013. Question 2. What is the convention priority window? 6 months under Section 154. Question 3. Which Indian registry provisions govern the Madrid system? Chapter 4A, Sections 36A to 36G. Question 4. How long is India's inbound refusal window? 18 months. Question 5. How long is the dependency period on the basic mark? 5 years. Question 6. What is the rescue mechanism after a central attack? Transformation, within 3 months. Question 7. WIPO international fees are paid in what currency? Swiss francs. Question 8. How do India's durations compare to TRIPS minimums? 10-year registration terms and 5-year non-use. India exceeds both. Absolute command over those dates, sections, and timelines separates passing candidates from the rest of the pack in the 2027 Trademarks Agent exam. Next time, we deconstruct the highest scoring topic on the syllabus, Section 29 infringement and its statutory defenses. Keep drilling the numbers and see you in the next module.